Hello everyone. I wanted to welcome you into your college algebra class and and cover pretty much the navigation of Canvas as well as our online homework platform, which is the Alex platform. Okay, so today, so let me click on the course that we have, right? So if you go into your Canvas portal or dashboard, you're going to see your class, whether it's Mac 110 College Algebra or Mac 110 OLO2 or even MAT 100 College Math. Okay, so it could be any of the three. In terms of navigation of Canvas, it will be the same for all of you. Okay, all right, so let's go into one of the class, which is OL1 College Algebra, and this is the main page. Okay, some of you are returning students, so you are familiar with the platform and the front page and so on. Okay, all right. So on your left, you would see all the links to Alex, right? So that's your online platform. You do have an option to get into Alex through your weekly assignments, so we're going to cover that in a minute. Okay, so you do have access to Alex right here, so I'm going to click here. You should have another hopefully another tab opening up, and this is what's happening. And here we go. Well, this is my instructor like front page, so you're not going to see the same thing, but you should see something else. Okay, so so this is where you can access Alex. The attendance here, that's for me. You're not gonna see that. You're gonna have access to your syllabus. So you have the core syllabus. So there's a breakdown of the outcomes, the competency, everything that you're gonna cover for the class. The textbook you don't need a physical textbook since Alex has the online textbook, and you also have a link in the modules. Okay. So this is the syllabus, gives you a breakdown of your grading scales, grading criteria, and so on, and the course outline for our weekly topics. Okay, from week 1 through week 10, and then week 11 and 12 will be a review week, and then week 12 will be the final exam. Okay, and you also have here a course summary. All right, so let's move on from the syllabus. What you're going to be able to see in the announcement, maybe not tomorrow, but here we have pretty much 12 weeks of assignments, but you're not going to see everything. You're going to see everything on a week by week basis. Okay, and then finally here you have the modules, but not finally, but you have the modules here. And this is where you want to access. Maybe I'll put the modules link on top instead of being right here, because that's probably one of the most important one. All right, so here you have the breakdown of whatever you need to go through once you get into Canvas. Okay, so you have the course welcome page, right? Then you have I'm sorry, oops, need to move that here. That you want to make sure that you check your browsers. Usually you want to have Google Chrome to navigate through Canvas without a problem. So please check here if your browser is compatible with your computer. Okay, so you have a little bio of myself, and here are all the resources available through with Southern Tech. So you have a virtual library, you have a library information resource network. I believe you have you can use that for any of your courses, and so you can use that. So those are additional resources. Let's look at some other things. All right, some information about your student evaluation criteria for your discussions and so on. And then let's go to the next one. course support. All right, so any problem with the Canvas, access to Canvas or anything like that, not Alex. Alex is something else. But if you have any problem with Canvas, accessing Canvas, you want to use this phone number or this email address, okay? And they are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, so write it down or make sure you know how to access this information. All right, so any question and answer, I would, most students don't use this part, but you can definitely use it. But the best way to get in contact with me, if you have like a question regarding the content of the assignments, you want to send me an email, okay? Actually, you want to send me an email for anything, right? So here you go into the inbox here, right? And then you locate my name and so on, and you should be able to send me an email, okay? Sorry. Okay, so this is also optional. The first week, I tend to look at it, but students don't really use this, and they just send me an email. All right, so it's best to send me an email because that's where I look the most. Okay, please try to email me into the inbox instead of emailing me from your private email into my school email, right? Then you may not have a response within 24 hours. Okay, because I receive so many emails, but if you go through the inbox, then I check each of my courses, and then I get, I can get into the specific of, your needs when I access the inbox. All right, so before you do anything, you want to make sure that you complete the online honor pledge for graded assignments, right? So this is a quick quiz. There's only one questions, and you want to do that to be able to access week 1 assignments, right? So this is kind of mandatory for you to access week 1. Let's move on. And here we're getting into week 1 topics. Okay, so week 1, introduction to algebra. This is just an introduction to the course, and then those are the assignments. So let me go into the modules, and you'll see the breakdown of what's gonna transpire for the week, right? So you have an introduction to algebra, you have introduce yourself, right? So just interact with your peers, introduce yourself, talk a little bit about yourself. We want to know a little bit about yourself. And so once you're done, please, you can start reviewing by accessing the PowerPoint, right? So you can kind of start, not reviewing, but you can get acquainted with the topics through PowerPoints, right? You have a zip, or you can go through the readings and an overview in Alex, right? So the textbook, this textbook is available in Alex, and also through the module links. Let me go back here. Right, so here, I thought the book was available. So yeah, I'm gonna have to show you. I thought the ebook was available. All right, so we'll get to the ebook through Alex. Okay, so now. So week 1, you have your PowerPoints that you can use as extra resources. You have your readings. It tells you what to read for the week. You have some web resources, but Alex has so many resources that you barely need. You barely need those web resources. Then you have your discussion. So let's look at the discussion. All right. So this is the discussion for the week, right? So making math work, and you need to answer all 3 questions. Okay, so we all know that math is used every day. Some careers depend more heavily on math than others. One such example is given at the start of chapter 1, right? So you read chapter 1 and you can relate to what's being said there. All right, so you're gonna have to answer those 3 questions, right? So your answers have to be substantive, right? So post a meaningful reply. You're gonna answer all those questions. Once this is done, and this is due by Wednesday at midnight, by midnight. Okay, that needs to be done, otherwise it's gonna be late. Okay, once this is done, between Wednesday and Sunday, and I put Friday here, but both replies can be done on Sunday, or even before. It could be done on Thursday, it could be done on Wednesday if you want to, but a reply, you need to have 2 replies to your classmate, right? 50 words, you need to have substantive, evidence-based, respectful, and encouraging replies, and just to show your participation and understanding of the topics for the week. Okay, so let's kind of move on. So on a weekly basis, you're gonna have discussion where you're gonna have to do those 2 things. You're gonna have to answer the initial discussion by Wednesday, every Wednesday, and second, you're gonna have to reply to 2 classmates or peers. In the announcement, I give you some example of how to reply, right? So basic, replies, and also how to answer your, tips on how to answer your initial discussion. Okay. All right, let me go back to the modules. Here we go. So pretty much on a weekly basis, it's gonna be repetitive, except for the even weeks, right? So week 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? You're gonna have your homework, right? So you have your homework right here, which is equation, inequalities, and problem solving. Actually, there may have been a mistake here. And yes. Okay. Oops, sorry. I went back. Just give me a second. Here we go. All right. So, we get into my modules. All right. So I need to, get something fixed here for week 2. But let's look at week 4, for example, right? Which should be similar to week 2, week 6, 8, and 10, right? All right, so week 4, then you have everything that you have in week 1, all the odd weeks. But now you have also a quiz, right? So the quiz for week 2, for example, because it's not properly, it hasn't been linked properly. So there are something missing here. And so you will have an assignment, and you will also have a quiz. The quiz is going to cover 2 chapters. So you notice that chapter 1, right? There was only 1 assignment, but no quizzes. And here you should have an assignment and also a quiz. And the quiz is going to cover week 1 topics and also week 2, right? And then for week 4, it's going to cover week 3 and week 4 for the quiz. Okay. For week 6, then it's a little bit loaded in this case. Again, so the midterm exam is going to cover chapter 1 through 6. Okay. And then you also have a homework for chapter 6. So you're gonna have to do, so there's something missing. So the reason why the course is not totally complete is because we switched from Connect Math to Alex like a few weeks ago. And so there were like some not some issues, but we have to reorganize the whole course, and so as to match Alex. And so here you can see that I have some missing items. That's going to be fixed. Week 1 is is coming up tomorrow, so you won't have any problem. Week 2 is going to be taken care of by the time you get to week 2 and also week 6. Okay, so but know that the midterm exams is going to be comprehensive from week 1 to week 6, and then for the final exam is going to be from week 7, I believe, to week 10. Okay, and so that's it for the modules. Now let's try to get into Alex, right? So let's go into Alex and let's get. All right, so once you click on your assignment, it directs you into your assignments. So here, obviously, I don't think you're going to see all that stuff. You're probably going to see 1.2 assignments. This is kind of the instructor view, right? And this is 1.2 assignments. Okay. All right. So one more thing about Alex. Once you get into Alex, so you're gonna be directed into Alex. You're not gonna be directed. You're not gonna be directed to your assignments at first. You're gonna be directed into doing what we call the initial knowledge check. Okay, and it's basically like an exam, right? That pretty much assess your knowledge today, or well, in your case, tomorrow. Okay, it assess your knowledge, whether you know 0% of the topic, or 10%, 20%, or 100%. It doesn't really matter. It will assess your understanding, and then it will lead you into what we call a pod. So we can actually, I can demonstrate that. So this is where you're going to see your assignments, but let's look at what you're going to be exposed. Hopefully, I'm going to reset the student view because I entered the student view yesterday. And let's see what you're going to be exposed tomorrow. All right, so you're going to be prompted to take a tutorial. So you're going to go through the tutorial. You can skip that if you want to, but this is a tutorial, right? And you get started, and it shows you pretty much how to navigate, how to type up numbers, how to answer some questions and so on. And so I'm going to let you do that, right? So I'm going to skip the tutorial. All right, so same thing here. You're going to have to do some graphing. So it shows you how to draw a line and so on. All right, so it's going to congratulate you, and let's move on. Now you're going to get into initial knowledge check, right? Again, this is not a test. It's just a check to see your aptitude in math for this course, right? So, and then you start it, right? So you start it, no stress. You go through what you know. If you don't know, you skip it, right? So it's here, it gives you an option to say, okay, I don't know. Well, then you submit it. No pressure. All right, so you start your knowledge check. So this is a question number 1. And then here you have to answer, basically here, you have x over 7, right? So, oops. So you can take this one because you know that the answer, well, I know that the answer is going to be x. I don't know why it's x over 5, I'm sorry. My God, shame on me. X over 5. So hopefully, and then you submit it, right? And you go to the next question. It's not gonna tell you whether it's right or wrong, but if you don't know, then you click don't know. Got it. And then you move on. Okay? And that's basically what you're gonna be doing for about 20 to 25 questions. All right? And then I'm gonna skip the knowledge check. At that point, based on, let's say I finished the knowledge check and I knew very little, right? And let's see what we get. Here we go. So this is my pie, right? And it's basically telling me from all the topics that I have to cover for the next 12 weeks, this is what I know and what I'm comfortable with, right? Arithmetic readiness, here, real numbers, algebraic expression, and so on. But then again, you know, no stress. This is what you're going to be learning, right? So whether you know 0% or less than 76 topics, it does not matter, because you're going to learn it throughout this session. Okay. All right. So that's that for initial knowledge check. All right. So now you continue on, and you're going to start your path, right? You can start your path right here. And this is, you know, pertaining to this is your learning page. Okay? So here you have to be careful. This is your learning page. This is not your assignments. Okay? So you want to make sure that you understand where you're landing. So here you have your learning page. This is not your assignment. So if you complete this, you're not gonna get credit. This is your learning page. Then you go through that, you learn, and then you can start your exercises, right? And you know, so here you're gonna answer that. Actually, this is still your learning page. I'm sorry, right? Because you have an explanation here. Let me see. Here we go. All right. So here I'm not going to see my assignments because we're not in week 1 yet. The only thing I'm going to see is the initial knowledge check, right? Once, even though I completed knowledge check, but because I did set a time frame to complete, to access the first assignment, and and an end date. So I'm not able to get into it from a student point of view, right? So once you do that, so you can go to assignments, and then you can click on the assignment and get started with your assignment, right? So make sure that you know how to differentiate your learning page, your review page, right? So this is a review page. Okay. So, but you access your assignments from here. Okay. And this is where you're going to get credit. All right. So what else do we have? The gradebook here is not, reflective of the gradebook in Canvas. Okay. So you don't need to access that if you want. And now let's look at the textbooks. This is where you can access your textbook. Okay. And in our case, week 1 is related to chapter 1. Okay. And that's that. Okay. What else do we have? All right. So in your when you're learning, there are several things that are available to you, right? You have videos that are embedded within the homework or even your learning page. So for example, you want to order integers. If you're comfortable, if you already know it, beautiful. You don't have to do anything. But now, if not, then you can access comparing number and using inequality, and here you're gonna have an example, right? So you go through that example, And here we go.
Let's review the
Okay.
insert the greater than or the
So it shows you
inequality sign,
how to
all the
complete
points to
those type of assignments and how to answer them. Now, if you want to, direct access to your ebook as it relates to this topic, then here we go. This is section 1.4, set of numbers, absolute value, comparing, right? So you go there and then you go through this, and you're gonna have some examples. Okay. So there are a lot of resources. You have a dictionary if there's a word that you don't understand. Calculator is not available for this problem, but it might be, available for another one. All right. So if you still don't understand, there's some actually, if you don't know how to enter some mathematical signs or anything like that, then you can go through the tool tutorials on how to answer that and go through that process. In addition to that, you also have explanations on how to complete a problem, right? And it shows you step by step how to get to the answer. Okay? All right. So that was the learning, and then the review. Pretty much the same thing. You have the same type of resources, but now you're trying to do everything on your own, and test it out. Then you check. If you don't understand, then you go through the explanation, right? And then you have your assignments. So I will go through those 3 steps, right, to complete your week 1 assignments. Okay. Well, any week. So I think that's about it. I think we covered everything as far as navigating Canvas. Well, this is really a snapshot, right? How to navigate Canvas, how to navigate Alex, and how to get to your assignments, differentiated from the learning page to the review page to the assignment page. And that's about it. The rest, if you have any type of questions, then you can send me an email for some clarification. But I think since everything is linked up, everything should be kind of straightforward. If not, then make sure that you connect with me by email. All right, guys. I'm eager to work with you guys and make you successful throughout those 12 weeks. And make sure you don't waste any time. Get started as soon as possible. You don't have to wait until Sunday, Saturday, or Saturday or Sunday. Make sure that even if you have a heavy schedule, you're working full time, make sure that you do 30 minutes to 45 minutes each day to make sure that you're not overwhelmed on Saturday and Sunday, right? And then you're not performing at your highest peak. Just do 30 minutes one day, 45 minutes another day, and so on. Just find pockets of times throughout the week so that you can be successful in this course, right? So that's the only way. Sometimes people just want to do everything at once. Some people can, that's fine. But just trying to organize yourself to do 30 minutes, an hour, every other day or every day, pockets of time. That's my suggestion. And believe me, by the time you get to the your homework or your quizzes, you're gonna feel prepared and ready to go. Okay? All right, guys. I will see you online. All right. Take care. Goodbye.